Happy blissful day, blissful beings. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabriel.
And my name is Kylie. And we are launching group coaching next week, December 28th. If you're interested in joining, there's still space and you can find all the details linked below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so today we want to share with you guys, because we had quite a few emails and messages as well saying that I've been using the affirmation, which is I always receive money out of thin air, and it's not working. Right, so we just want to make a video to actually explain to you guys, or rather to remind you that you do not manifest what you want. You only manifest who you are. So you do not manifest what you want, you only manifest who you are. And so what that means is your external reality, which is your results, is simply reflecting your internal reality. And your internal reality is your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, and obviously your assumptions, your perceptions, your habits, and your beliefs, right? But now check this out. When you change your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, it automatically changes your perceptions, your assumptions, your habits, and your beliefs as well, right? So now, if you are only saying the affirmation because for the sake of saying it, an example, I always receive money out of thin air. So if you're only saying it without feeling it, then there's a conflict right there. You see, because thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. So, and the thoughts and the feelings makes up your personality, your self-concept, your being. So, which brings me back to the reminder that I've given you. You do not manifest what you want, you only manifest who you are. So in other words, you have to change your internal world in order for your external world to actually reflect what you really want. So for example, if you now, when you get this, you're like, okay, I always receive money out of thin air. And you feel, how will it feel to always receive money out of thin air? You're like, yeah, it's my norm. It's always been that way for the last year. I've always, received money from nowhere, out of the blue. And I check my phone, another notification. And all my family members and friends know that I always receive money out of thin air. And it makes me feel so good. I feel so grateful. It's so freaking awesome. Wow, man, I'm just so grateful. It always happens. So, you see there, I know it with my mind, with my brain, and I feel it with my body as well. So it's a knowingness. It's like, of course, it's a done deal, of course.
Yeah, we always kind of try to give an example. And the one that kind of came to us now, it's, we're sitting on these chairs. We know that these chairs are going to hold us. If I sit on it, I'm going to sit on it. It's not going to break. It's not going to wobble. It's not going to fall. It's just going to hold me, because that's what it's done every day for the past year that I've sat in this chair. And it's that level of just simple knowingness to say, of course this chair is going to hold me. Of course I'm going to sit down and this chair won't fall. Of course I receive money out of thin air. It's always been happening. And I believe it's going to happen again and again and again. You see, it's almost getting yourself into this cycle of saying, okay, they say if you think a certain way, you'll feel a certain way, so you'll act a certain way, which reinforces that thinking and that feeling and that action, and you get into this loop. And you see, a lot of people just use affirmations just to say it.
Yeah.
I always receive money out of thin air. It's like, well, do you believe that? Do you feel the reality of that? Because if you don't, there's no action that's going to come out that is going to conform to that. You're just saying it. I could say the sky is green. The sky is green. Yeah. It's never going to turn green unless I fully am convinced that the sky is green. Otherwise, I'm just talking. I'm just saying noise. It has no value.
Exactly.
So when those of you who have been doing the affirmations, you have this level of belief where you say, yes, I believe it's going to happen for me too.
Yeah.
I always receive money, and you have been. And other people, maybe subconsciously you don't believe that it could actually happen for you, or you haven't seen it in your past, so you say, I don't know, I'll just say it, but I'm not actually going to believe it or put in that effort to feel into it.
Yeah, and just ask yourself this question: do you feel worthy of receiving money out of thin air? Do you feel worthy? Just see what comes up. And whatever comes up, if you don't feel worthy, then you obviously have to accept that you are worthy. And ask yourself, do you feel that you are safe and secure now that you've always been receiving money out of thin air? Do you feel that way? See what comes up. If not, then just accept that you are feeling that way, right? And the reason why we made the affirmation and use the word always, because always implies that you always have been receiving money out of thin air since you were born.
And you always will in the future.
Yes. So that's why it's like, remember, it's not something that's supposed to happen. It's something that have already happened. And you are just stating the norm. I always receive money out of thin air. I always receive money out of the blue. It's my norm. It's my new way of life. Everybody knows that I always receive money out of thin air, you know. And you want to make sure that when you say it, you have to feel that it is your new reality as well. You have to feel, and you want to act that way as well. When it comes to your mind, you express your gratitude. You know, you share that with your friends, with your family members. You say, you know what, I always receive money out of thin air. Remember the last week and the other week and the last year and the other year and the remember? Oh, yeah, remember. And so you're actually doing this because, remember, in order for you to change any belief, assumption, perception, or habit, you have to go in the imagination where you become no one, no thing, and no time, because in the imagination, everything happens right now. So when you in the imagination and you're like, oh yeah, and you see how your friends and your family member congratulate you on the fact that you've always been receiving money out of thin air, it will feel real to you. Now that feeling that you're getting, you want to memorize that feeling. And whenever you say, I always receive money out of thin air, I always just feel that feeling. You do that on a daily basis and you will see your external reality has to conform to your internal reality, and that's where you now see their manifestations unfold.
Exactly. And I think even if you also want to kind of say, okay, how do I get to that place where it's just a passing feeling, you know, it's just I believe it. Pick something. I mean, for us, we chose these chairs to say, okay, we know every time we sit on the chair, it holds us. We don't even have to question like, oh, I hope it holds. No, it just does.
Yeah.
Maybe for you, you know that your bed is going to hold you up. Maybe you know the roof will stay up. Maybe you know when you open the tap, the water will come. But pick something that's kind of you do every day to say, I know that this will happen every day. I know that this thing will do its job every day. And then you can say, okay, use that same mentality or that same perception you have of that and apply it to the affirmation, especially if it is, you know, I always receive money out of thin air.
Yeah.
Then you kind of say, okay, yeah, I have that same feeling that I do about the chair or about the tap and the water, about the roof staying up. Just getting to yourself to that place where, of course I do.
Exactly. And remember, you just want to apply the law of assumption. The law of assumption is very, very simple. It's very, very simple, but not easy. Because all the law of assumption states is just pretend that you have it now. You just have to pretend that, oh, yeah, I've always been receiving money out of thin air. Just pretend. And by you pretending that way, you're going to feel a certain way. Now, that feeling, you want to remain faithful to that feeling. You remain faithful. That's why Nevillegoddard says, just assume that you have it now. Remain faithful to that feeling. How do you remain faithful? By gratitude. You express your gratitude every day that I'm so happy and grateful now that I always receive money out of thin air. I always receive money out of the blue. Everybody knows that I always receive money out of the blue. I receive millions out of the blue. I receive thousands out of the blue. I receive hundreds out of the blue. Isn't it wonderful?
Wonderful.
Isn't it wonderful?
Wonderful.
Isn't it wonderful? Absolutely.
Gorgelicious.
Gorgelicious. Having said that, thank you so much, guys, for watching. And as always, keep smiling. Enjoy your blissful day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, 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 thank you.